Hello everybody, this is Kirusha here. Now then, whenever we last left off, I did say that Deku was going to be going to school. Now, as he would leave his home and go, he would actually be sitting in class. Everyone does notice that Deku, as soon as he walked in, he hasn't said anything. This is whenever Baku would finally ask him a question, and Deku would just look at him for a second and then just look away from him. Bakugo can clearly tell something's wrong. Now, ever since he's met Deku, he actually has somewhat loosened up, along with knowing that quirkless people can be stronger than people with quirks. Because of reports from Aldrin City, he somewhat is less Bakugo. Now then, with that being said, he also does respect Deku's strength and his will to fight. Now, Deku would just have to explain that he got a note in the mail. His mother hid it from him, but she actually let him read it yesterday. The man who... Deku just looks away with a sour tone on his face. The man who raised him is dead. Everyone's somewhat hearing that. They would all exactly ask what he means, and he would just say that a man by the name of Alex, he died. The man raised me in place of my father. He's not around anymore. But he promised that he'd help me survive. So, yeah. I'm still trying to figure this all out. Now, with that being said, school would be out for the day, and Toga, she is actually waiting for Deku. As Deku would be walking out of school, she would see him and somewhat flag him down by just waving up her hand. These two would begin leaving, as she's asking exactly what is Deku going to do today. He would explain that he has something all planned out. In fact, they need to talk to Elizabeth. Now, she'd ask exactly what he means as Deku just starts walking faster, until he somewhat gets into a full sprint. Now, as soon as this happens, this is whenever Deku and Toga, they would just be at a full sprint running across the buildings, jumping across and basically giving no mind to their identities. People would just see people leaping and they just think that they're probably heroes, but they're moving a bit too fast. So they're probably chasing someone. But they'd at least just keep it to themselves, since it's not really causing any huge damage, and well, no one's getting hurt. So, this is whenever Deku he would arrive home, and Elizabeth is waiting on him for them on the rooftop. Deku and Toga would land and see her. She would just say that she found a bit more information, but he is going to have to figure this all out. Deku, he would take the information, and he would actually just be looking through it. As he finds that this man, he's corrupt too. He would get annoyed just thinking that there's too many people corrupt in that city. It might as well just be purged. Now, this is whenever Elizabeth would explain that they are going to need to go in camouflage in a military transport. Now, if they can camouflage themselves, then they can just worry about taking down the sergeant when they get to the city. In fact, you do have a week off from school, correct? Yes, we do. Okay, good. Well, explain to your mother that you'll be hanging out with some friends. Yeah, she's been acting a bit weird ever since ever since Alex gone missing. Or left, really. Well, she's probably just stressed out. Besides, wasn't she a doctor? Didn't she have a lot on her plate? I mean, yeah, but I just felt like she never really made time for me, you know? Well, as a as someone who was going to be a parent, I can at least tell you, everyone wants to spend time with their kids. But some people just don't get that chance. Trust me, she may come around. Deku's a bit confused, asking exactly why is she giving him advice. Well, seems like you need it. Besides, I'm guessing not even I can prepare you for what we're about to go and do. Now, these three would begin by going to a nearby military base and camouflaging themselves, getting onto a transport heading for Aldridge. After this happens, they would arrive, as they would find the sergeant. They're exactly trying to figure out how to sneak their way throughout the base, as they would do so getting inside, inadvertently stumbling upon an entire operation. They stumbled upon human testing. Some of the people they are taking from settlements are actually being experimented on. With one thing. The, the experimental version of Alex Mercer, his blood. Deku, he would have been able to get close enough to consume the scientist, as whenever he did, he sees his memories. Everything he's done and everything he's caused to these people. Now, as soon as he would have done so, he would have found that he needs to take out the sergeant now. But as soon as he does go over to him and try to consume him, the sergeant would have immediately been able to just throw Deku away from him, telling Deku that that is not going to work. Many have tried, but not even Elizabeth Green has been able to get to him. Huh, funny you mentioned that, as Deku would immediately just pull out his blade and just be circling around him. As Deku, he gets guns trained on him. He would immediately armor up, as the corporal begins to somewhat laugh. This is whenever Toga, she would immediately summon two hunters, while Elizabeth is just standing there, and she would immediately just transform. She would have created two whips in her hands, as she would have immediately just lashed them outward to the left and to the right, immediately taking out everyone in those two directions, as the hunters begin to tear away at the soldiers. The man, being a bit confused, would immediately turn, seeing Elizabeth in her armor, being completely in shock. He would immediately begin to run, as he would just jump straight through the wall, tearing straight through it. Deku immediately giving chase. Now, whenever he is following him, Deku, he would eventually come to the point where they are in a crowd. So his armor is not going to be a bit useful, but he needs to at least find this man. So he is using his hunter's vision to try and hunt the man. He is finding him close by, but eventually he would just have to come to one situation. The man would have immediately snuck up behind Deku and actually tried to start absorbing him. As soon as he would have started absorbing Deku, Deku would have been able to fight back against this, as the man would basically have his arm or hand completely melt, as Deku would have turned around, immediately slashing in the guy's chest. He would have done so and immediately just smashed him against a wall, as people are looking at this, immediately beginning to run away, while soldiers are starting to come in. He would have just said that he can't believe that he killed Alex. Alex? Who the hell is Alex? Of course you don't remember his name. You wrote this. Huh? As the man would begin to read it. I didn't write that shit. Really? Then what exactly did you do? Who? I think I'm remembering you now. So, you mind explaining to me what the hell you're doing then? If you're going to kill me, just do it. I've been alive for longer than I've wanted. As Deku, he would immediately just begin to absorb the man. Looking through his memories, he finds that he's telling the truth. He didn't write this. But who did? Now, as soon as that would have happened, Deku, he would immediately just turn around as he just sees the military. He sees 20 to 30 men standing directly in front of him. So, they have RPGs and armor-piercing rounds, as they are telling Deku to stand down and to turn himself in. Deku would just immediately bring his hands up, as he does one thing. He creates a pair of hammer fists. As soon as he does so, he immediately just smashes them together as hard as he can, as he creates a small shockwave. He then immediately lunges forward, smashing his body weight into the ground, as he creates tendrils shooting out everywhere, stabbing into the men and into the helicopters above him, as he would have taken out the tail rotor and start having people absorbed into him, immediately just pissing him off. Now, as soon as that would have happened, Deku, he would have a tank point directly at him, as it would begin to fire. As soon as it would have done so, Deku would have dodged out of the way, as Toga would come riding on a hunter, immediately smashing into the tank, throwing it on its side, as she would have told Deku that now they need to get out of here. As Deku, he would immediately just look around, he would just jump onto the hunter next to her, as they would begin to run, or the hunters would begin to run, and get away. As they're running on the rooftops, this is whenever the military is chasing them down, as they're heading for the bridge. Now, whenever Deku's looking through his head to try and find something, he does see something, so he thinks it will at least be useful. As they are running by, he immediately guides his hunter to go down to the street, but it doesn't listen to him. He would tell Toga to go down to the street. As they would do so, Deku picking up a random civilian. He immediately just stabs into the back of their head and immediately turns around, tossing them directly at the helicopter. As they go straight smashing, as tendrils, they immediately start jumping out of the helicopter. Toga is watching as they're just immediately going out as far as possible and begin to pull things in. A dumpster and a car being one thing, immediately smashing into both sides, as the helicopter spins out and crashes into the plaza below it. Now, as that happens, Toga, she would immediately look over at Deku, saying that she needs to get her one of those. Yeah, I didn't even know that would do that, but it worked. Not gonna lie to you though, that was pretty fucking cool. Now, as that happens, these two would eventually get camouflaged, as Deku would explain what he saw. Clearly that man faked it, so he has nothing to do with Alex. But that doesn't change it. They need to figure out this mystery. Now, as that is being said, this is whenever Elizabeth would walk up and just say that that is not going to be very easy. Now, they would spend the next week attacking military bases and actually trying to figure this all out, as people in the yellow zone, they find this to be a bit difficult, since their lives have gotten a little bit harder. Now then, with that being said, eventually they would come back, as we'll be going over the start of the anime. Now, I do want to skip that 1 year, so we're at the time where Deku, he is in class. People are talking about what they want to do whenever they graduate, and the teacher would just say that they all want to be heroes. so it's no surprise. Now, in this amount of time, Deku, he's been trying to deal with things. And in fact, he's had a bit more trouble. He's somewhat losing it, as you can say. All the men he's been absorbing, he can see their memories and their lives, what they feel, every single thing. Because of that, he's experienced every worst memory they ever had. So it's been giving a mental toll. Deku, whenever he can sleep, finding that he has nightmares. Their nightmares. Things that only those men would dream about. And he has some of their fears. But he's able to shake them off as soon as he wakes up. Now, with that being said, Deku, he would hear the teacher as the teacher would snap him back into it, saying that, doesn't he want to go to UA, Mr. Midoriya? Now, everyone would immediately be looking at him as they're just thinking that that guy's going to go to UA? Well, yeah, but isn't he corkless? Well, no, he survived in the red zone, right? It takes a lot to survive there, so he might actually be a good pro. Well, maybe, but he could be like a support hero. Probably, but even then. He's killed a hunter before. That's not an easy feat. Yeah, that's right. No. Bakugo, hearing this, he would just turn around, saying that he's gonna go to UA. Well, I hope you at least get in then, man. Now, as that happens, Deku, he would just start walking home, as Toga is with him. These two are talking more and more as Deku does ask her one simple question. Does she have their dreams? Which kind of confuse her. Toga, she would just ask Deku what he means, and he would just flat out say that he has some of the men he's absorbed dreams. Does she have the same? This immediately catches Toga off guard as Deku just sees her eyes somewhat widen. As she looks down saying yes. Yes, she does. So, how do you deal with it? I don't. I just ignore them. Hope they go away. Hope mine will come back. That's very cheesy, Toga. Yeah, well, it's the best I can hope for, right? Of course, my dreams aren't anything fun. What do you dream about? Nothing. I dream of nothing. Now, as these two are having that odd note, this is whenever the sludge villain, he would try to attack. Until he immediately jumps toward Toga. As soon as he does so, Toga immediately beginning to absorb him, as he immediately just starts freaking out. As this is happening, the sludge villain, he already got halfway absorbed, as Toga is continuing to do so. All Might would finally arrive as Toga would stop. The sludge villain's screaming that those kids are infected, they have the Blacklight Virus, and that he needs to get him out of here. All Might immediately hearing that, he would just slap the villain away, turning him into a giant, splash mark on the wall. As he would immediately walk over and ask who those two are, and he needs to see some identification then. Deku would hold up his red zone bracelet, as All Might would scan it, immediately finding that he is not infected, somewhat giving himself a sign of relief, as he would ask the same of Toga, her holding up her own bracelet, which All Might's confused by. It's rare to see more than two of you, more than one of you together. Yeah, hi again, All Might. Again? Wait a minute, young boy, you look familiar. Were you by chance... Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. Mount Lady, being in my settlements, me being that kid who jumped off of a car and kinda flagged you down because I was being chased. Yes, that one. That one was a hard story to forget. No one really believed me on that. Yeah, well, no one really believes me that I met you. In fact, I once told a couple soldiers about it, and they thought I was lying. Well, young man, I do hope that you have good progress. Now, as All Might, he would immediately just pick up the sludge villain, and he would begin to jump away. But as he does so, mid-jump, he is actually starting to deflate. As Deku and Toku, they would watch All Might fly away into the distance until he gets a bit smaller. All Might, he would actually land into the building, somewhat smashing into it with one for all into his legs, as he actually does take a tumble and begin to roll. Now, the bottle, it does fly out of his pocket, but it's now rolling on the ground, as he immediately scurries over picking it up. As he just looks down at it, relieved that he got it. I'm still wondering, though, where's the rest of that villain? If he got away, then that's not going to be good. Now, All Might, he would immediately begin walking home, or walking to the police station. As Deku would walk home, and he would meet with Elizabeth. Now then, that is where I'm going to be leaving this part off, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.